Okay, we should be live now, I believe. Okay, we should be live now. Yes, the audio is good, so that means we can get started. Alrighty, we have officially made it to Week 17. This season went by quick, and I think part of it is that, with obviously how this season has been, it's been sort of hard to digest a lot of these crazy storylines and winning and losing streaks because of how quick we've gone. What's good, Pokemon? What's good, Jax? Welcome in, fellas. So let's take a look at the playoff picture as of now. 7 teams have clinched, and 7 spots are still up for grabs. Nobody except for Arizona has clinched their division. So the Cardinals, Panthers, I think these are the only 2 teams in the NFC who have clinched. So there are 5 playoff spots up for grabs in the NFC. In the AFC, the Colts and Jags are fighting for their division. They've both clinched. The Cougars and Bengals have both clinched. They are fighting for the division, and then we have clinched as well. So the AFC East will be crowned today, either Buffalo or Miami, probably Buffalo. And there's 1 wild card spot up for grabs. Already changed your name to 10 and 6. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I don't want stats. We want standings. What am I doing? There we go. But, I mean, I could see you guys winning. Memphis isn't invincible. So, in the AFC, the Chargers are currently the 7 seed, with the Ravens, Dolphins, and Chiefs all in the hunt. Everybody else is out. And then the Dolphins and Bills are still fighting for the AFC East. If Buffalo wins or Miami loses, then the division goes to Buffalo. And if they tie, or not if they tie, if Miami wins and the Bills loses, then things get hectic because they tied the season series. NFC. Oh, the Panthers have already clinched their division. I'm dumb. These are the only 2 teams who've clinched. Bulldogs obviously play the Caps, so the division will be won there. Toronto is probably going to win the North. I mean, they should have clinched it by now, yeah, since they beat the Steamers twice, as Nick says. But Toronto plays Houston, so that's like an automatic win. Currently in the wild card race, we have, I guess, technically the Caps, although winner of this game clinches the division. So we'll just say the Caps for now, along with the Steamers. No, not the Steamers and Snowhawks, I believe, with the Sentinels tied but out, and the Bucks, Lions, Rams, Saints, Eagles, and Packers all needing a miracle. So the first game we're going to watch, I guess we're going to start with Colts and Steamers. If Indy wins, they probably clinch their division and the number 1 seed. If they lose, then the number 1 seed in the division probably goes to Jacksonville. It's wild that the Jags started 1-5, and now they have a shot to be a 1 seed. No, I don't want a screenshot. I wanted to use Siri. Hey, Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1, so we will use her for Colts. For Memphis, they could still, I guess, technically win the division, which doesn't really make any sense, but since EA's dumb, they do. And if they win today, they probably make the playoffs regardless. If they lose, with how wild the NFC is, then things kind of get hectic. So, Apple, you can pick your jerseys if you want. Remember when the Chargers were 1-5? Yeah, and then IT got hurt, and now they're doing well. Although Russ has not started a game yet for the Chargers, and now that Pajoti is hurt, we have to see what Russ can do. If you lose or you out, you'll probably still make it if you do lose. It's not a guarantee, but since you guys have 9 wins, you should get in. But for the sake of getting a wild card spot if you do lose, the Caps probably are rooting for the Colts today. If the Steamers lose, I think the Caps, Bulldogs, and Thunderbirds all probably clinch a playoff spot. I think. That would make sense. I think, yeah. So, the Bulldogs, Thunderbirds, and Caps are all going to make it barring some sort of collapse. Throwbacks? Which ones? The Colts don't really have any cool throwbacks, but we could go with these. I mean, they're not really any different, but they work. Yeah, IT's starting record is probably not great. I feel like he has more than one or... Actually, no. I think he's only won one with the Chargers, and I think he only has like one with Detroit. Or no, he hasn't won any with Detroit. The Lions are on like a 5-game losing streak. All Blues? Okay. Good choice. Now you guys are going to win because you're going with the cool stuff. All right, boom. A lot of star power on these teams. Plenty of offensive and defensive player of the year candidates, including Saquon Barkley, Khalil Mack. I think Mack is probably the favorite for defensive player of the year, and Barkley is probably the favorite for offensive player of the year. Also got Chris Godwin as well, and a lot of other good players on both sides. Of course, the best player here is my guy, Eddie Small, who in his 2 watch games has looked very good. Now, those were against suspect defenses. The Steamers' defense is really good. Memphis is not a flashy team. They don't score a ton of points, but their defense is real good. Only team you beat was the Titans, and now you'll get a chance to beat them again. And beating the Titans is not like some accomplishment, because they kind of suck. How does your 1 seed hope work? So if you guys win, you get the 1 seed. If Carolina loses, you get the 1 seed. The only way you don't get it is if you lose and Carolina wins, and at that point you'll both be 11-5, and I'm not sure who EA would give it to. So you probably will get the 1 seed, more than likely, but it's not a guarantee. I'm pretty sure you guys play the Snowhawks, and that's not an overly easy game, especially since they are right in the playoff hunt and they need to win. I'm not entirely sure who Carolina plays. I don't think it's anyone super good. Otherwise, I probably would know and probably have put it on the poll. Although Carolina's game isn't really that important since they've already won their division. They're just playing for seeding. Oh, what a start! On the kick return. Okay, Colts. The Panthers play the Cowboys. Okay, yeah, they should probably win that game. Need Colts to shut down Mack, then Peters gets his 6 sacks, and then he'll be the favorite. Yeah, there you go. IT, once he left KC, they did good. Once he left the Chargers, they did good. And now the Lions. The Lions was kind of the opposite, because they traded for Dwayne Haskins, and they were doing really well. And then IT comes in, and they've done worse. So, I mean, I guess it's still the point that wherever IT goes, the team's success goes down. 5-1 in the division. That's pretty impressive, especially considering all 3 NFC North teams were really good at one point during the season. The Packers started the year off hot, and right now they're good. They just beat the 2 best teams in the league in back-to-back weeks. The Lions were on a tear at one point. Now they suck, but they were good. And the Steamers have been tough all year, so it's not like going 5-1 in the NFC North last year when all the other 3 teams sucked. I think all 3 of them were probably better than they were last year. Went from giving them a top 5 pick to the 15th or so, yeah. And possibly lower if you do somehow make the playoffs, which I think is unlikely, although for the memes, I want to see Baltimore get in. But with like 5 teams fighting for that 1 wild card spot, it's probably not going to happen. But it's possible. I mean, the Chargers are playing us. That's tough because now we're starting to play well again. And then from there, it could really be, if the Chargers do lose, it could be any of those 7-win teams, including Baltimore. What a dot to the 6. Okay, Eddie. First pass of the game, trying to start off strong. Why? Because you've had a scuffed years at the GM? Kind of. I mean, it's been a weird year. On paper, your roster is arguably one of the worst in the game. So it would be kind of fun to see you guys make the playoffs, especially with how Andy Morrison has been playing lately. Which, as I said in the Discord, I made it clear that I am voting Morrison first for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't care if the other guys have slightly better numbers. Morrison's team is way worse. And he's dragging them to either a playoff spot or more likely very close to a playoff spot. Remember when you couldn't win a division to save your life? Now you just accidentally win the division. That's kind of true. That's definitely true. I mean, last year, obviously, the NFC West was friggin' loaded. But the NFC North has been maybe the weirdest division throughout all of OFL 21, which says a lot because there have been a lot of weird divisions. What's good, Eli? Welcome in. Ratio for disrespecting Norris. I think Doris of the rookies probably is going to have the best numbers, and he's probably who I think will win. And obviously he has more upside than Morrison, considering he has X Factor. But unless Morrison completely plays awful today and Norris Doris goes off, I'm probably voting Morrison first. Remember year one when you won like 4 games? Well, you guys won like 4 games pretty much throughout the past like 3 years. Yeah, the Cowboys play Carolina today, and the Panthers are pretty good. So, could never win the NFC West. Then you figured out how to beat the Snowhawks and Niners. And the NFC West this year was a cakewalk, surprisingly, because the NFC West has always been tough. The Niners were good to start OFL 21. In the past 2 years, they've completely fallen off the face of the earth. The Snowhawks are tough. The Rams are pretty tough. Last time you played Josh Allen, you killed Nick in the playoffs. That's right. That was definitely one of his worst losses. It's not as bad as a Hail Mary, but that one was up there. That one and the fake punt against Chicago and the 4th and 22 against us last year. None of those are as bad as a Hail Mary, but they're all pretty funny. Here's a nice pass for Josh Allen, who's had an all-right year. He hasn't been bad. He's been better than what the Steamers have had at quarterback, which is like Jacob Eason and Daniel Jones, so that doesn't really say a whole lot. But he has thrown a lot of interceptions, but he also has been able to win them a lot of games. Went from disappointing star team last year to now one of the worst teams on paper, and Morrison's trying to pull off his own LeBron impression, carrying a bunch of scrubs. I wonder how Memphis is going to run the ball, because Tajik is their starting running back now, who, of course, is a natural fullback. So I don't really know how that's going to go. So it should be pretty interesting. Have a theory. Wentz won MVP. Think the quarterback play was a lot weaker. You put Wentz's OFL MVP season against last year's, and he's probably 4th. You're probably right. I think last year the QB play was the best. And the year Wentz won it, not to say Wentz didn't deserve it, because I'm pretty sure I voted him first place. He was really good that year. But there wasn't really any clear choice. So I probably agree with that. Obviously, Wentz has been way worse the past 2 years than he was that season. But I do agree with that. Thanks for reminding me of your playoff failures. Oh, no problem. Here, I probably can still open up the Google Sheets, which, speaking of, I should probably have, or not Google Sheets. What's it called? Google Forms. Which, speaking of, I should probably open up soon, since I have to do the award stuff after the stream. I'll probably do that right after, and then I'll do upgrades later tonight. Alright, Season 2. Wentz's numbers that season was 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 68% completion percentage, and a 12-4 team record. So, yeah, I mean, those numbers aren't outstanding. They are good, and obviously a high level of team success, but that probably doesn't normally win you MVP. 3rd and 18, final play of the quarter. Will the Colts defense clutch up? Oh, they kind of did. Incomplete. It looks like Memphis is going to have to kick a field goal. Considering what we saw the last time we watched the Colts defense, I would consider this drive a success. Oh, doink! He missed the kick! I did not expect that. Who is their kicker? I can probably see without having to, like, back into the depth chart. Oh, no, because that was in the first quarter. Oh, wait. Yes, I can. Tyler Bass. Okay, that explains a lot, because he's not the most accurate. Smirnov should have made it over Wentz. Let me read Smirnov's numbers for that season, because I know he finished 2nd. 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 68% completion percentage, and 11-5 team record. So the yards, touchdowns, and team record are all pretty similar, but Smirnov did throw double the amount of interceptions that Wentz did. Much smarter about the NFL now and football in general. Yeah, I mean, I remember your fantasy draft was not great, so although there's work to do, you've definitely improved a lot. Didn't you pick, like, Richie Incognito super early? Yeah, that was not a great pick, but you've gotten a lot better. Third and 3, nice conversion. So I see the Colts offense is still dominating. I know it's a little bit early, we're only in the second quarter, but Indy's offense looks really good so far. 8th round was Incognito. Okay, that's not as early as I thought. That's still too early for him, though, considering he more often than not retires after the first year, which obviously was irrelevant because we simulated it. But still, I guess that's not as bad as, like, the 4th round. There's a nice play, I think, for Malachi Arnold, who's really finally catching his stride. Now it's 750 yards. It's probably a career high, I would think. Because his numbers with the Steelers were not good. Not good at all. Think you're going to be a running back on OFL 22? I think a running back could be pretty fun, but young running backs really don't do all that good in that instant. They take a while to develop. So for the user players, I would probably suggest still doing a quarterback. But if you want to do a running back, go ahead. But I think the most fun would probably be... Oh, wow, they're going for it. I think the most fun position would probably be quarterback. But if your running back does develop, then that could be really good. The only problem is, nice touchdown, by the way. The only problem is, like, is there any running back who is, like, not in the fantasy draft, who was, like, actually drafted, who's, like, really good in OFL 21? I don't think so. There are a few guys who are solid, probably, but there's no one off the top of my head who's, like, real good. Fake quarterbacks are better than real quarterbacks in Madden. Well, I would say in the OFL for the most part, considering Smirnov is always better than Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Malcolm Tremblay is one of the better ones, and even so, it's not like he's outstanding. I mean, for someone with 20 carrying, I guess he's pretty impressive, but he's only, what, low 80s? Although he was drafted a little bit later and only has star dev, but... Smirnov, Morrison, Painter, Chip, and Doris have been some of the best. I mean, I don't think Morrison, Painter, and Doris are all in that conversation because Morrison and Doris are only rookies, and Riley Painter's only been good this year. Oh my, it's intercepted. This game has been an absolute disaster for the Memphis Steamers. They need to win this game to make the playoffs, probably, and they are not looking good. I was expecting a tight game. I was not expecting a Colts blowout. And this Indy team has lost 4 in a row. They are really silencing the doubters right now, proving that they can, you know, play good defense in a watch game. We love the Colts in this chat. Well, everybody in the NFC right now loves the Colts. So with Indy winning, they probably clinch the division. And as I mentioned earlier, I think the Bulldogs, Thunderbirds, and Caps all probably get playoff spots. And then there's guys like Mookie Gray. Yeah, Mookie just ain't really it. It does suck that he got hurt. It's not like he was playing well this year, and it's not like he's played well in the past, and his weapons have always been really good. If we win, how would you make the playoffs? So obviously you guys need to win, and you guys need to get lucky. You need a lot of things to go well, like Memphis losing, for example. So this is good news. This is good news for everybody in the NFC. That Memphis is losing. Unless you're a team like Arizona or Carolina and you wanted to play Memphis. Although I'd probably rather play Orlando or Portland. So I guess everybody who's in the playoff picture in the NFC should be very happy by this. The only team who's really probably frustrated is Jacksonville. How hard is it to make a trade in the final year without draft picks? It's definitely harder. If I remember correctly, last year there were definitely not as many trades. And with everything being player for player, it becomes a little bit more challenging. So I doubt there's going to be as many trades next season. But obviously, you'll still be able to trade this year picks in the offseason. But once the offseason is done, outside of like preseason free agency, for the most part, all the final rosters are going to be like set. That should be a pass interference. That's a bad call. That was clearly a pass interference. Oh, and if they lose, yeah, you're right. If Memphis loses, Toronto clinches the division. So I didn't even think about that, but you're right. I was just thinking about a playoff spot. But yes, Toronto does win the division. Colts are going to kick a field goal. It's now technically a 3-score game. So we will watch until the end of the half. But if it remains a 3-score game, then we will start the second half simming. Think there are going to be some star players that won't get the money that others get? You're probably right, because a lot of people try to go for like the under-the-radar guys, and since everybody goes for the under-the-radar guys, there are going to be some players who you're like, why did nobody bid on them? Like last year, I was thinking Bradley Chubb feels too obvious, and I don't think a lot of people are going to bid on him, and I ended up being the only one who gave him an offer. I was right. And obviously, we ended up getting Bradley Chubb. Jeffrey Simmons as well. I think he only got like 1 or 2 other offers, and they weren't very good. So you should almost just try to think of someone who's either super under the radar or super obvious. And since there's going to be some really good guys in here, I guess there's going to be some really good options that everybody's probably going to want. If everybody's going to be sending $40 million offers to like 1 or 2 players, then I think free agency could get kind of bad. But other than that, I think it'll be fun. Gonna bid on any player available? Well, you don't have money. That's the problem. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. You guys did clear up money. That's right. Yeah, you guys have what, like 20 mil? Plus all the free agents who are gonna leave, and it's not like anyone super good is needing a new contract. So I guess you guys will have a little money. Think you're going to be forced to re-sign with Detroit whether you want to or not because you don't think... I think somebody would want you. I think somebody would. I mean, if Detroit's your only offer, then yeah, your best bet's to go back to Detroit. But I feel like somebody else would. I mean, there are some teams who don't have good quarterbacks. I know Tennessee probably wants to draft a quarterback with their first pick, but I could see them offering. Not that Tennessee's a better situation than Detroit, because they're not. Unless they spend a boatload of money, which I guess they have a boatload of money, so they could. Oh, what a punt! I didn't even think of that. Down at the 6. At least you don't have to pay a quarterback this offseason. Yeah, a lot of teams have to pay QBs, so that's certainly going to hurt their money. It kind of looked like he was in bounds. That was close. No longer interested in IT after he was... What if IT throws like 7 touchdowns today? I mean, it is against the worst team in the league, but still. What if the Lions make the playoffs and IT does well? Gonna have a new starter next year? Well, I think there's going to be quite a few good QBs in free agency. I mean, Wentz doesn't seem like he'll come back. IT's probably going to test the market. And there are probably going to be some other ones. Maybe Riley Painter? Maybe? The Dolphins do have a lot of guys they have to pay. So that one wouldn't totally shock me. And that Baker Mayfield possibly as well. So there's going to be some good ones. Russell Wilson's going to be a free agent. Although Russ isn't the most trustworthy. 3-score game. Yes, so it looks like, considering the Colts have the ball, unless Eddie Small throws like a pick 6 here, since he's Eddie Small, he won't. Looks like the second half will be starting with a sim. Okay, they could go for like a 63-yard kick if they wanted to. They probably won't. But it's that or a Hail Mary. Looks like they're going to go for a Hail Mary. That's probably the right call. Or they could go for a quick out route. The one time a check down would actually be smart. Or you throw it up the middle to the 20, because that's wise. Tried to trade for Painter in the offseason. Well, if the Dolphins don't bring him back, I think Painter's definitely going to get a lot of interest. I think the Dolphins probably will bring him back because he has had a pretty good season. But the Dolphins do have a lot of guys to pay, as I said. So the Steamers have 42 yards today. Yeah. Ouch. And pretty much a must-win game. Memphis probably won't get in now. They still hypothetically could, but it's unlikely. Just that you have to pay Aaron Jones, CeeDee Lamb, Evan Engram, Kenny Clark, Marlon Humphrey numbers. Yeah, that's a lot. How old will Tre'Davious White be to start the year? Probably like 25, 26. He is 26 right now, so he'll be 20, and he was born in January, so he'll be 26 to start the Madden 22 cycle. This is the first game. You haven't really missed much other than the Colts absolutely beating the brakes off of the Steamers. If the game gets close, we will hop back in. Wow, Memphis with a long touchdown. We won't hop in yet. But if it gets close, we will. Ooh, Memphis with the stop. Uh-oh. So, yes, 27 after the sim year, since we probably will simulate a year like we did this year. Colts with a big stop. What a punt by Just Kidding Scott. 3rd and 6. Malachi Arnold does convert. Another 3rd down and 21 yards for Hawk. Third quarter started off with a little bit of a scare for Indy, but now they're looking just fine. Back up by 3 scores. We'll start to go a little bit faster. Ooh, it looks like the Steamers got stopped on the goal line. Yeah, this game is over. We can simulate a little bit faster now. A dominant 30-7 for the Indianapolis Colts, who are on a 4-game losing streak entering the week. But they are showing that they're ready for the playoffs with a Jacksonville loss. Indy officially gets not only the division, but also the number 1 seed in the AFC. Memphis, meanwhile, probably would have clinched with a win. Now with a loss, things get awkward. And Toronto has officially won the North. For OFL 22, you plan on building the worst team possible? That seems like it could backfire. I mean, if you only draft rookies, then I guess that would work. But other than that, I feel like when people try to do that, it usually fails. Eddie Small was very good, per usual. I don't think he did enough to put himself in the top 5 for the MVP race, but it's good to see him ending the year well. Josh Allen got hurt. So if Memphis does somehow make the playoffs, it's more likely than not we'll see Josh Rosen instead. So I was thinking about it a little bit earlier. Do we want to watch both games and then simcast? Or do we want to simcast a few games now, then watch the Caps Bulldogs, and then simcast some more? I don't really care. So if some of you guys have a preference on how we do that, we'd probably simcast most of the unexciting games now, but I probably would throw 1 or 2 in there to make things interesting. Simcast a few games, watch both now. Sim Ravens now, simcast Lions first. Okay, so it seems like you guys want to do some simcasting now. So let's find most of the unexciting games and a couple good ones. So the unexciting ones, this one doesn't really matter. Jags and Pats. Raiders, Saints doesn't really matter. Niners, Packers doesn't really matter. Rams, Dolphins I might want to save. Texans, Thunderbirds doesn't really matter. This game is kind of important for the AFC East with Buffalo on top. This game doesn't really matter. This game, wow, a lot of these games don't. And maybe we want to throw a good one in, like Cougars Ravens or something. Or Chargers Diablos. Do your game first? Okay, since the Thunderbirds game isn't all that exciting, we'll just do that one first. I'm pretty sure Toronto is home. Just to keep things simple and easy, we will simcast with the home team. Does it say in the standings Toronto's clinched the division? I don't think it updates, but obviously they have. Yeah, no, it hasn't updated, but we know they have. Snowhawks Cardinals has mild in. That game isn't super important. I probably do want to save it because Arizona has something to play for, and the Snowhawks. If the Snowhawks only had 7 wins, then it wouldn't be as important. But since they have 8 wins and they probably will make the playoffs, I think it is a little bit more important. If you lose, you're going light mode all playoffs. Oh dear. I mean, Colbert is good in Sim, but the Saints are pretty tough, so. Last time you were in Simcasted game, you won by like 30. Oh. And since you're playing the Titans, you've got a good chance to do that again. Oh, it's snowing! Nice! Are we going to get some snow games in the playoffs in Toronto this year? Houston off to a quick start. I wonder if anyone's going to get hurt again for the Thunderbirds. This game does not matter for... I guess it is somewhat important for Toronto. They are still playing for seeding. They're currently losing, though, to the Houston Texans. Ooh, Toronto scored, but they missed the 2. They score again. Toronto on fire. Houston with a touchdown. Toronto answers. And Houston scores at the buzzer. The Texans win by 1. Wow, what a game. How many seconds were left when they got the game winner? Not a lot. 13. So Toronto's probably going to get the 4 seed. So we're probably looking at... Toronto will most likely play... The best guess would be the loser of the Bulldogs-Caps game. That'd be pretty fun if it was the Caps. If not, it could be Orlando. It could be Portland. Norris Doris was Dak. Wow, Dak was really good. He threw 4 touchdowns. So Houston finishes 7-9, right? I think, yes. And Toronto finishes 9-10. Hey, Nick finished 9-7. Yes, the 9-7 meme is back. I don't think he's finished 9-7 yet in Madden 21, but here we are. Reggie Peters with 2.5 sacks, by the way. You want Toronto versus Caps? So what, are you going to root for your team to lose now? Because I would enjoy seeing that game quite a lot. Norris has 6 skill points. So does Morphus McCullum. Wow. So Toronto gets the meme at 9-7. The Texans are 7-9. The next game we'll do is... We'll do the Lions game next. The Lions still have a shot. They have to win. That'd be a little bit funny if they lost. That would be a little bit funny. I'm not going to lie. I'm in the off-season. Can you do upgrades? I don't think you're in the off-season, Chief. Is there enough kickers to fill out a roster in free agency? Probably not. I don't even know if there's 53 kickers in the game, to be honest. Let alone just in free agency. It's been a rough past 4 games for IT in a Lions jersey. He's lost all 4 of them. But if he loses to the Titans, then I think there is a legitimate reason for concern. Because right now I don't think there is. But if they lose to the Tennessee Titans of all teams, then we have the right to be concerned. How much did you lose by? You guys lost by 1 on a buzzer beater touchdown. And for the purpose of memes, you finished 9-7. Stop fiddling with your water bottle. I'm sorry. Oh my, look at the score. The Lions have 0 points. Oh, right as I say that, now they have 7. But they are currently losing the Titans. They're getting killed by the Titans, I should say. Lions. No, they're going to lose the game. The Detroit Lions have just got killed by the Tennessee Titans. IT was pretty mediocre. He wasn't terrible, but he did get outplayed by Gardner Minshew. So the Lions are officially out of the playoffs at 7-9 with a 6-game losing streak. And Isaiah Thomas, as the starter of the Lions, went 0-5. The Titans started the year 2-12, and then they finished on a two-game win streak. I think they've already clinched the #1 pick, so it doesn't really matter. But all right, I kind of want to see what Colbert can do. I think we're going to do the Raiders and Saints next. The Saints are home, so we will user them. How many skill points does IT have? He has 3. Okay. So he can be 89 next year. Did Detroit lose? They got pummeled, yes. They got pummeled by the worst team in the league. Just to confirm, the Titans have clinched the #1 pick, right? All of you are losing in the playoffs anyway, besides the Diablos. The Diablos are not very good this year, so no. That's not... I don't think we're going to go that far. Yes, the Titans are the only team of 4-1, so they're good. We'll do the Packers next. And then we'll do like 1 or 2 more, and then we'll go to the Caps and Bulldogs. It's Colbert time. You see, going into state, I'm ranked 7 for 803. I like the emphasis in the all caps there. We now got a Crockett and a Crackett. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit weird, but we'll make it work. Saints are so far doing well. New Orleans could still make it. Keep in mind. Raiders are starting to do some damage, though. High scoring first half. Saints up by 10. Yeah, New Orleans has this one in the bag. So the Saints stay alive. They finished the year 8-8. Now, they still need a lot to go their way, but they're not yet eliminated. We'll call Crackett crack. Yes. Hello, light mode. Oh, dear. Colbert was not very good for what it's worth. He threw 2 interceptions. Garoppolo was not bad, but not great. That's what Octi smokes when he makes takes. Says the guy who said Arch Manning would dominate the NFL today. Ironic. Brandon Brown had 4 sacks. You know, that's a big number. That's a big number of sacks. Arch Manning will and would. Well, him doing it in 5 years from now and him doing it now are 2 totally different discussions. That's worse than Octi's takes. I don't think Jalen Green is bad. I think he's the 3rd best player in the class. I just don't think he's any higher. All right, are the Packers home? I don't think so. I could be wrong. Here, let me check. Oh, they are home. Okay. If Green Bay wins, they're still alive. Like so Green Bay is in the same situation as New Orleans and Detroit. If they win, they still have a slight shot. If they lose, then they're officially done. You think being tall is bad in the NBA? Thank you. Thank you for understanding my point. Boomy pretty much said today when we were talking about this in Discord that being tall is bad. He didn't directly say that, but that's what I implied he meant. Because Arch is good. Yeah, Arch is good against high schoolers. He's playing against high school kids. NFL players are world-class athletes. High school kids are everyday Joe Schmoes. There's a big difference. Ooh, snowing again. Jax, you forget I'm a high school. Exactly. Arch Manning is playing kids like Lucario and many of us. Obviously, he's dominating them. Oh, wow, this game is close. Green Bay takes the lead. Packers extend the lead. Green Bay looks like they're in control. Can they hold on? They do. So the Packers win. They finish the year 8-8, and they are still alive. Like the Saints, they need a lot of things to go their way, but they're not done quite yet. If he goes to the Washington Red Wolves, yeah, I'm sure he'd be great for the Washington Red Wolves in 2028. Herbert and Katz with pretty similar numbers. Wow, Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs both did very well. Jacobs has been a machine as of recent. Grady Jarrett with 2 sacks. All right, we'll do one more game now, and then we'll soon cast the rest later. Do we want Bengals Chiefs? We could do Cougars Ravens. Maybe Sentinels Bucks. Maybe Rams Dolphins. Any of those games spark our interest? He should be a top 5. You know, if I'm going to be biased towards anybody, it's going to be Eddie Small. So if he does not end up making the top 5, just know it's because he actually doesn't deserve it. If I'm going to be biased towards any MVP candidate in the league, it's going to be him. Let's be real. Thought Arch Manning was the father of the Manning brothers. No, that's Archie Manning. I think Arch is the son of, like, the long-lost Manning brother. Like, the one who didn't make it. Muted and scared, what happened? Okay, well. The Steamers ended up getting killed. Cougars Ravens appears to be popular. Yeah, you guys are the only NFC North team that won today. And we already did all 4 NFC North games. You're right about that. Who's home? I'm pretty sure Baltimore is. Cougars Ravens after. Well, Boomy is for Ravens, so I do feel like it's a little bit more fair that he gets to say on his team. You know, Bengals and Chiefs is really important. The Chiefs need to win to stay alive, and the Bengals could possibly clinch the division. So this game is maybe not as... maybe the teams aren't quite as interesting. Looking at you, Cincinnati. But it is still very important, so we'll do that. You're going to... The Steamers could still make the playoffs, you know. They're not eliminated yet. Do we have to do all the games? Oh, well, we simcast all the games. We got most of the unexciting ones out of the way now. So when we do the second batch, it's going to be mostly good ones. Cooper was a wide receiver, got hurt. That's how his career got ruined. Okay. I figured he probably played football at one point. I would think, considering his dad played football, his brothers played football. You don't want to see your team choke? Well, sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off early. Kansas City has to win to keep their season alive. They're looking pretty good early. They're up 10-0. The Bengals have already clinched a playoff spot. They are playing for a right to win their division, and they're not looking too hot. Looks like Kansas City has this one under control. So the Chiefs... Oh, the Bengals tied it! We're in over... Stop. Okay, we got to go slower. If this game ends in a tie, I think the Chiefs are out. I think Kansas City has to win. Bengals are moving it pretty nicely. A nice first down for the rookie Britton Jennings. 25 for Knowles. They're in field goal range. I guess the Bengals just scored. What just happened? Yep, Cincinnati kicked a game winner. So the Bengals finished the year 10-6. So they will be a wild card or win the division, and Kansas City is out. The Chiefs were the last team to lose a game this year, and they will not be in the playoffs. Britton Jennings got hurt. That's kind of a big deal because he's kind of good. Tack Shoddy and Joey Fox did not come up clutch in their team's final game of the year. Juju is better. Common Lobra. What is the Bengals' record? They are now 10-6. All right, let's get to the Caps and Bulldogs game now. Who is home? The Caps are. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. Siri has selected 1, so we will use her London. The Caps never seem to be able to beat these guys. They didn't beat them earlier in the year. Last year they went 0-3, including a heartbreaking loss in the playoffs. The Bulldogs don't really have many jersey combos since they're a reload team. Do we want them to wear all blue, all white, regular homes, or regular away? That's pretty much the question. How is it in a stream where your team won the division, you still get disappointed? Because you lost to the Texans, who are really bad. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless someone got hurt. Then I guess it would matter. I didn't see anyone get injured for you guys, so I think you're fine. 1 vote for all, 2 votes for all white, 1 for all blue. You know, the all blue team did win the first game. For what it's worth. This is what the all whites look like. They actually look pretty clean, I'm not even gonna lie. The Bulldogs have some of the best jerseys among the relocation teams. Kind of sad that the Bulldogs won't be in OFL 22, since, you know, all of the relocation teams. Another vote for all blue. Okay, it's 2-2. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker. I'm kind of digging the all whites, to be honest. So unless someone says all blue within the next 30 seconds, we'll do the all whites. Superstars and Superstar X Factors, mainly dominated by the Caps. Wow. The Bulldogs only have 3, and the Caps have like 15. Yet they're still competing to determine who wins the division today, and the Caps can never beat these guys. So, the more you know. Rooting for the Caps because you prefer London in the wild card over Toronto. I would probably prefer London too. I don't trust the Bulldogs and watch games at all. I think with Deshaun Watson and Ezekiel Elliott, the Bulldogs can be a high ceiling team, and I think they could be a sleeper team to make a run, but I just don't trust them. I don't think they're consistent at all. I can't really see them making it out of the second round. I think they could win a game. They did last year. Who did the Bulldogs lose to in the second round? I think they lost to the Bucks. I think. Yeah, didn't they get, like, killed by the Bucks? Exactly. They won their first game in the playoffs, and they got smoked in their second one. Albeit the Bucks were pretty good last year, to be fair. What's the most pass-happy playbook? Probably the Saints. Although I don't change schemes during mid-streams, so just keep that in mind. But if you guys do make the playoffs, I can change it for the playoffs. Final watched regular season game. The Bulldogs will start on offense, and we get to see Deshaun Watson, who's been fine this year. I mean, he hasn't been bad. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. Oh, for Madden 22, yeah, you probably want to go with the Saints. Although I know the Titans are super pass happy. The Chargers is. New England's is. But I trust the Saints more than those. I always use the Saints. That should have been intercepted. Caps 86. Bulldogs are only a 78? I didn't think... I mean, it's not like London's roster is loaded, but I'm surprised it's that low. I would have thought it would have been like low 80s. You're the better streamer, unfortunately. Well, damn, that hurts. Zeke's numbers, wow, they were quite good. He might be an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. I think he's been an Offensive Player of the Year candidate the past couple of years because he is quite good in Madden Sim. It'd be pretty funny for Jax to lose to London again. It would be kind of funny, for sure, because, I mean, he never beats them. But if I was you, I would rather play London, too. Although, I mean, Toronto versus the Caps would be kind of fun. So I think the loser of this game has a very strong chance of playing Toronto. But if the Sentinels win, or the Snowhawks win, then maybe not. But both of them play tough teams. The Sentinels play the defending champs, and the Snowhawks play the team that's favored to win the championship this year at the moment. So they do both play tough teams. Here is the Caps, led by Carson Wentz, probably his final regular season game in a Caps jersey. Where is he going to end up next year? I've got to assume he's going to start somewhere, right? I mean, Pepperjack says he needs a new quarterback. Maybe Carson here. Good run for Todd. Now, we know Todd Gurley only dominates against Dallas, and unfortunately for Jax, this is not Dallas. But maybe he'll do really well today. Got my Domino's pizza ready to eat. That's a W. Domino's is quite good. Pizza Hut is not better than Domino's. Stop. No. I very much disagree with that. Why no end zone? Yeah, for whatever reason, the Caps do not have a logo in their stadium, and their end zones are completely blank, which is kind of dumb. It's not a big deal, but it's weird having no logo in the middle of the field. At least in Florida. Well, wouldn't Domino's and Pizza Hut taste the exact same anywhere else? I mean, I could go to a Domino's here and a Domino's 2 hours away, or maybe 2 states away, and it would taste the exact same. Domino's is... I don't think they're the best. Nothing beats Papa John's, but Domino's is close. They're good. Domino's is like Papa John's, but greasier, which is a compliment. That's a compliment to Domino's. Oh, wow, nice stop. You don't have Domino's in Canada? That's unfortunate, because it's pretty good. Ooh, the Caps are going to punt it. That's probably the right call. But they were really running the ball well on that drive. Octi is a great streamer. Well, I appreciate that, Chief. You don't have Papa John's either? Boom, you got to get out of Canada. You don't have Domino's or Papa John. You got to get out. If I lived in Canada and that was the case, I'd get out. Yes, Papa John himself is no bueno. He's not the brightest, but the food is good. Even though the face of the company, yeah, he's quite shady. And a little bit racist. Harvey's is the best hamburger. Well, I've never heard of that in my life. That's probably, I guess, only in Canada. That would make sense. Hate Papa John the person and the pizza. Well, you got one of those things right. Ooh, fumble! And it's picked up by Columbus. Bobby Wagner is usually doing the fumble forcing, not the fumble recovering. Who hit him? Maybe that was Bobby. No, that looks like Roquan Smith. I think that was Roquan who forced it. No review. That ball looked clean out. And the Caps get it back. Ooh, Todd Gurley's right at scraping 1,000 yards. If he gets 93 throughout the rest of the game, he'll reach 1,000. That's pretty daunting. But we have seen him play well in watch games in the past, particularly against Dallas, or in OFL 20. And we're not in OFL 20, and Dallas is not on the field at the moment. But maybe we'll see a rejuvenated Todd Gurley. I don't know. Maybe he realizes how important this game is. Nice play by Tremblay. He may be short, but he's out here breaking tackles. Seems like the Caps really want to focus on giving the ball to the two running backs, which I don't think is a bad idea because I don't really trust Carson Wentz at all. I don't think that's a bad game plan. This John Schnattner dude sounds like... I think saying that he has 2 brain cells is generous. That's very generous. I don't remember exactly what he said. I know it was in like some phone call, and I know it was very offensive. Here, let me look it up. Because now I'm kind of curious. Oh, he said the word. I don't need to go into much detail. I think we know what I'm talking about. He said a word that he should not have said. Hard R? Yeah, I imagine if he was trying to be racist, he'd probably use the hard R. That's pretty bad. No points through the first quarter. Not as much offense as the first game. Although I guess the first game only one team was doing the scoring. But the Caps are in the red zone. They are close. They got an opportunity to punch it in. And they do just that. It's Stephon Diggs with the touchdown. And the Columbus Caps are on the board first. With a win, the Caps probably get the 3 seed. Although if Carolina loses, they could jump up to 2. Which I don't think the 2 seed and the 3 seed here is that big of a difference, to be honest. Because the 7, and it's not like there's like 2 really good wild card teams and then a massive drop-off. Unlike the AFC. The AFC, that's not the case. Because either the Colts or Jags are going to be a wild card team. They're both really good. And then either the Cougars or the Bengals are going to be a wild card team, and they're both quite good. So in the AFC, getting the 2 seed matters a lot more. He said he was quoting KFC. Who, Papa John, when he said the N-word? That's... I don't know why anyone would believe him. If you're trying to quote them, why would you still say it? That's really dumb. Caps field is so bland. More reasons to dislike Columbus. Yeah, I guess the one downside about them winning the division is there needs to be a home game in this stadium, which I don't know how I feel about that. And if the Caps get the 2 seed and they win their first playoff game, then they'll get another home game. And then if they win in the second round and Arizona loses, if Arizona gets 1 seed, then there'd be another game at the stadium. So, yes, the stadium is not very exciting. This game does not affect you guys. No, it does not. It doesn't affect anybody in the AFC, at least for now. It obviously does affect seeding in the NFC, which is important because the playoffs are going to play out based on seedings. But no, this game does not directly affect the Ravens at the moment. London is in the NFC East, yes. Don't you live in the state that Columbus is in? That's true. This is the second best football team that plays in Columbus. Still better than Canada. Alex Howard has 1,128 receiving yards. Who is Alex Howard and why does he have so many receiving yards?
Number 21, Ezekiel Elliott, the ball carrier. Dalvin Tomlinson on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup.
If the Jags beat New England, then you guys tie at 11-5, and I have no idea how the tiebreaker would work. If the Jags win, it's simple. Or if the Jags lose, it's easy. You guys get the 1 seed. Here, I should probably look up 1-seed tiebreakers. Or NFL seeding tiebreakers, just so we know. Because Jacksonville's probably going to win, let's be real. Oh, it's intercepted in the end zone! By Trent Boyett! He always gets an interception whenever we watch them. I don't know why that is, but every watch game, Trent Boyett always gets an interception. He is such a beast. He is a beast. All right, back to NFL tiebreakers. Trent Brown is hurt. That's kind of a big deal. To break a tie within the division. First off is head-to-head, the Colts and Jags split. Then the best winning percentage within the division. I know the Jags did lose to the Titans. And I know the Colts didn't. I don't know how they did against the Texans. But I suppose that goes to Indy's advantage. Because I know Jacksonville split with Tennessee, and I know Indy swept them. I don't know how they did against Houston, though. Best corner in the OFL, you might be right there. I mean, he's up there. On paper, who's better? Probably the Colts. I would say the Colts, yeah. Although it's close, I would probably give the edge to Indy. You went 4-2. Jags went 4-2. Did you guys... Okay, so did the Jags... That would imply that the Jags swept Houston and Indy split with Houston. So the next tiebreaker is best winning percentage in common games. I'm pretty sure that's like against the same opponents. Nice sack there by Leighton. So I'm pretty sure it's the winning percentage against like the teams that they both played, which is a majority of the schedule. After that, it's win-loss percentage in games played within the conference, strength of victory, which I guess is point differential, then strength of schedule, and I don't think we're going to get that far. But those are the first 6. The last one is coin toss. Imagine if there was a coin toss to determine who won the division. That's probably the tiebreaker that Madden uses. They just go right to the coin toss. But that'd be something. Imagine if like the Lions and Packers needed a coin toss for the division. I would be so paranoid that entire day. What would happen if you sat your entire team during the sim year? They wouldn't lose their devs, and they wouldn't regress unless they're old. Like a 25-year-old is not going to get worse. And I have dev regression off, so they wouldn't. But the young guys won't progress. So you're probably still going to want to start the young guys. Like, let's say you draft, like, I don't know, Trey Lance in the 3rd round or something. You're going to want to start him just so he can get extra skill points. If he's on the bench, he'd get, like, 2 or 3. But if he starts, he'd get, like, 6 or 7. So you still probably want to play the young guys, even though it's not like they'll get worse. They just won't get as good. Can we do something? What is something? Dev regression was really bad. Yeah, it was good the way it was in the past. Like in Madden 18 and 19, I thought dev regression was fine. I don't think you could turn it off, which wasn't a big deal. Because I think dev regression is good. I think it's necessary. But with Madden 21, it was literally random. It was done really poorly. Why did he choose to return that? He could have very easily misplayed it and muffed it. Where the top 5 offensive players and defensive players in both offenses get a 3+ increase. That's something we could think about. Definitely for OFL 22, I'll give award winners advantages. Maybe a dev upgrade. Or if they already have X Factor, maybe certain attribute increases. But since we're already super far along in OFL 21, I feel like that would like totally like change the rules of the awards. Eating out, let me know if you're in the playoffs. Okay, I'll post a playoff, like the playoff graphic in the server when the stream is done, so you'll be able to see there. Had a player with 12 sacks who had superstar and he went down to start. Yeah, like exactly, like they have no business going down. But Madden's dumb, so here we are. It will make the players who had breakout seasons feel like he was good. Yeah, and I certainly might want to add awards to OFL 22 as well, like more creative awards. Like, we have a lot of the basic ones here, which is fine. Obviously, MVP and stuff is interesting. But I'm probably going to think of, like, to add on to, like, the MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, etc., probably add some more, like, unique type of awards. I don't know exactly what they would be, but something. Should do an all-OFL team. That's a good idea. I don't really know how we would all vote for that, but that's honestly kind of a good idea. I'm not even going to lie. Worst coach. I don't know if we want to do worst coach. If I was a bad coach and won that, my self-esteem and my ego would be down on the floor. So I don't know if we want to do that. Biggest meme of the year. That's a good one. That's a good one. Dalton Risner would be up there, for sure. But there would be some good ones. Maybe all the winning and losing streaks. I think the biggest meme of the year actually would be how wherever IT goes, his team sucks. I think that would be the winner. That's probably the biggest meme of the year. Are you a favorite? You'll definitely be on the ballot. And considering you guys went 4-12 to 11-5, I imagine you'll either win it or you'll be close. You'll probably get my first place vote. If not, you'll be pretty high up there. I have not thought about most of the finalists for like Coach of the Year and stuff yet. I'll do that after the stream and stuff. Ooh, we get to see Enzo! And he's kicking a somewhat reasonable, easy field goal. So he might actually make it. Caps take a 10-0 lead going into halftime, and they start the second half on offense. So the Caps have to be feeling real good right now. Playoff participant award team that makes the playoffs that basically does nothing. That's a good one. That's a good one. I might add like an award or two this year, like the biggest meme or something.
That's the end of the first half. With the score, Caps 10, Bulldogs nothing.
But yeah, we could like at the end of OFL 21 or even earlier, like we could just like brainstorm a bunch of like possible good awards. The Bulldogs have 9 rushing yards. It's not like your running back sucks. I mean, they have that guy named Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. I don't know how they have 9 rushing yards. They probably should run it more. You would win that. I feel like RMP would probably win that. Because before last year, he had never won a playoff game. And he had made the playoffs a lot. But since RMP made the bowl last year, I guess it's not really as obvious. Biggest letdown, maybe like the biggest letdown team or something, or the most surprising. If we keep playing good, you'll be 1-6 against the Bulldogs. If the Caps win this game, they're going to be celebrating in the locker room about how they're 1-6 against the Bulldogs. That's a little bit funny. Easy way to remind Nick of the Hail Mary. Most improved is a pretty good one. I'm not sure how I would do that, but that'd be a good one. Oh, wow, look at the Caps favoring it for 1. If they score a touchdown here, this game becomes a sim. Nice play by Austin Hooper. Carson Wentz has been awesome today. He wants to keep his job. He looks like a guy who's playing for his job. Gurley reaches into the pylon, and the Columbus Caps are up by 3. Actually, no, they're not. They're not up by 3 possessions yet.
The kicker on for the extra point.
Okay, now it's sim time. Now we can sim. Eddie Small can't win most improved because he was good last year. In order to be most improved, you have to suck. Like, that's like Austin Buckley type of territory, where Buckley wasn't good before this year, and now he was kind of good. Riley Painter, another good example. Eddie Small has been good since he entered the league. Oh, now the Bulldogs are trying in sim. Now they're trying. Only to settle for a field goal, though. Already working on the NFC East Championship banner. Did he get left hanging? That'd be a little bit sad, especially considering how well he's played today. Oh, what a punt by Braden Mann, down at the 2. Columbus with the stop, and they are starting at like midfield. Okay, we'll start to go a little bit faster. It is only a 2-score game, but Columbus is looking good. Nice sack, though, by Cassius Jennings. 3rd down, a 22-yard catch for Stephon Diggs. 3rd and 7, another conversion, this time to Tajik. On the goal line, 3rd and goal from the 1. Tremblay loses 3. They'll have to kick a field goal. It is a 3-score game, though, so we'll move faster. Bulldogs score a touchdown. Okay. Eddie Small and Dalton Risner enthusiasts. Well, I don't think I ever ask for your name. I usually ask for what your role is and what team you are. So for what team you are, don't put that, please. Because that'll get a little bit confusing. Although I'll know who it is, but still don't, please. London's making a run here. Onside kick recovered by Columbus. Okay, we'll watch for the Hail Mary. There's 22 seconds. We'll watch for the Hail Mary. It's not going to happen, but we're the Indianapolis Eddie Reisners. Imagine if they blocked a punt there. That was their best chance of winning. Another nice punt for Braden Mann back at the 13. I love how it was like mid-afternoon when the game started, and now it's like pitch black. The stadium looks a lot darker. Deshaun Watson heaves it up. Incomplete. If it happens to Jax, that would be kind of funny. Considering it already happened to his arch rival, that would be a little bit funny if it happened now. Watson, another one. Incomplete. He'll have time for one more with 3 seconds to go. The Bulldogs need 87 yards here to win the division. That's not a Hail Mary. That's not a Hail Mary. And the Columbus Caps have officially won the NFC East. They will be either the 2 seed or the 3 seed. And the Bulldogs will... They've already clinched, I think, with Memphis losing. But they're only going to be a wild card. And the... Is this Jax's first time beating the Bulldogs? It might be. The Columbus Caps finally get over the hurdle of beating the Bulldogs. You know what would be funny, though? If the Caps have to play the Bulldogs again next week and end up losing. That'd be a tiny bit funny. Deshaun Watson was mad. Carson Wentz was... He only threw 3 passes in the second half. What? In the first half, he was outstanding, though. It looks like they just tried to run the ball in the second half, and I guess it worked. I mean, they won the game. But they literally did not even try to throw it after halftime. I guess they figured, hey, we're up by 3 scores, we might as well just shoot clock. Alright, so let's see the games we have next. I think we probably have like 5 or 6. This Greg Holheit guy has 6. Does he have a dev? Or does he just suck? And okay, so it's just that he sucks. And since he's so bad, he gets skill points quicker. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, we still have to do Jags, Pats, Rams, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Panthers, Cowboys, Chargers, Diablos, Sentinels, Bucks, Cougars, Ravens, Eagles, Steelers, Snowhawks, Cardinals. We're going to start with the Bills and Jets because that's probably the least exciting. The Jets are not playing for anything. If the Bills win, they clinch the division. If they lose, they could still miss the playoffs. Now, if the Bills lose and the Dolphins lose, then the Bills still win the division. They need to lose and they need the Dolphins to win in order to possibly not win the division. So long story short, Buffalo is probably going to win the AFC East, but it's not a guarantee. They can put fate into their own hands today, or they can hope that the Rams help them out. Bills with a quick touchdown. Jets answer right back, though. Jets again. This is probably Matt Ryan's last game, keep in mind. So he probably wants to go out strong. And it looks like he kind of is, considering they're winning. Jets with another touchdown. The Jets are in control. Bills trying to drive. They don't get it. And the New York Jets upset the Buffalo Bills. And fate is no longer in their hands. The Dolphins still have a shot to win the AFC East. Matt Ryan throws 3 touchdowns in his final game. Madden's probably going to award him the MVP. Will he be on our ballot? No, he won't. Just because he put up numbers does not mean he deserves it. Bobby Wilson was not very good. He's playing for the injured Derrick Henry. Royce Freeman was really good. This Bills team is weird. They seem uninteresting on paper, but, I mean, Matthew Stafford is inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get with him. There's a lot of talented skill position players. They have some good players on defense, I think, too. So Buffalo's a weird team. All right, while we're on the topic of the AFC East, we might as well see what happens with the Miami game. Who is home? Are the Dolphins home or the Rams? The Rams need to win in order to stay alive. So this game is very important for both sides. It is in Miami. Okay. So the loser of this game is out. The winner of this game still has a shot to make it. Miami has a good shot to make it if they win. Whether that's winning the division or as a wild card. The Rams have to win and they still have to get lucky. So the Dolphins have a better chance than the Rams. Both of these teams made the playoff. Both of these teams won playoff games last year. And now, one of them is about to be eliminated. And there's a good shot neither of them make it to begin with. You're going to be the 5th seed real quick. Well, if you are the 5th seed, you'll play either Buffalo or Miami. If Miami loses today, then the 5th seed will play Buffalo. If Miami wins, then things get complicated, and we'll try to figure out the tiebreakers. Not that Madden really cares about the tiebreakers, but... Do you have a single X Factor? I don't know. I think Quinnen Williams and Terry McLaurin are both superstar. I guess we'll see when we get to your game. The Dolphins with a quick touchdown. They're up 7-0. Now 14-0. Rams answer back, though. This is probably the most important game of Riley Painter's career. And could be his last one as a Dolphin if they don't bring him back. Which, again, I don't think will happen. I think he will be back. Rams get the 2 points. They tie it. Okay, let's slow it down. So the Rams just scored, it looks like. Do they have the ball? They just scored and they got the ball right back. Rams pretty much have this game won. Wow, I think that was a 4th down and they went for it. So the Buffalo Bills have clinched the AFC East and the Miami Dolphins are done at 7-9. Quan Alexander picked off a pass. So the Dolphin season ended because Riley Painter, in the most important drive of his career, threw an interception. Although this was Riley's best season yet, it's not going to end with a playoff berth. Both Riley and Keith were, they weren't bad, but neither of them were great. They were both pretty much average. So the Rams are 8-8. They still need a miracle to get in, but it is possible. And this is not good news for those other 7-win teams in the NFC. All right, let's do Carolina and Dallas now. That's probably... I think this is the last game where only one team is playing for something, with Carolina playing for seeding. Then we'll do maybe the Cardinals or Ravens next or somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty sure Dallas is home. Yes, they are. Ooh, breakout player. Not that we do breakout challenges here, but cool, I guess. Want Diablos before your game? I feel like we should do the Diablo game afterwards, because if the Chargers win, they're getting the final wild card spot. So I feel like we should save that for the end. Or no, if the Chargers win, either them or us will get the final wild card spot. So if they did win, then the Ravens result would be pretty unimportant. So I feel like we should do that game last. Or at least last among the AFC games. Wow, Cody Barton's numbers are good. So that's why he's the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. That explains a lot. What's good, Ian? Welcome in. We just finished your game. You guys ended up winning against the Dolphins. So you guys still have a shot to make the playoffs, although it's still fairly unlikely, but you still have a shot. Wow, Dallas is looking strong early. If Dallas wins, Arizona gets the 1 seed. Carolina could go as high as the 1st seed. They could go as low as 3. Wow, Dallas killed them. Carolina put up some points late, but it doesn't matter. Too bad. Your game will be next. What has to happen? So pretty much, I think like Orlando needs to lose, or the Snowhawks need to lose, and they both play good teams. And then at that point, there's going to be a bunch of teams with 8 wins in the NFC, including you guys, and then it'll just be based off some tiebreaker, whoever gets the final wild card spots. Kareem Hunt was really good in his final game of the year. Hunt is probably a free agent, isn't he? I would think. Let's rip. Do you want to do your game now? I want Baltimore to win. I want the Ravens to make the playoffs for the memes. Carolina has the tiebreaker over you guys, so that means Carolina will get the 2 seed. Because you guys had the same record. So Carolina will be 2, Columbus will be 3, Toronto will be 4, and Arizona will be 1. I want to say Baltimore is home. If the Ravens end up winning the OFL Bowl, I will use light mode for the rest of OFL 21. I'm going to say that right now. I want to see the Ravens make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to go that far. Ravens have no X factors, by the way, to answer your question, Boomy. Your only superstars are Terry, Quinn Williams, and Marcus May. Ravens have a 0% chance to win the Super Bowl because it's not the Super Bowl. And they have like a 1% chance to win the OFL Bowl. I don't see it happening. But hey, that would be fun. That'd be quite the Madden-esque thing to do, to have maybe the worst roster in the league with like some 70 overall rookie quarterback win the championship. That would be kind of funny, though. Ravens are not winning the Super Bowl IRL either. I mean, it's possible. Is that rain? It is raining in Baltimore. Cougars, if the Cougars win, they clinch the division. If the Ravens win, they still have a shot at the playoffs. Because Chicago does have the tiebreaker over Cincinnati, and so far it is all Cougars. Ravens do score. They're back in it. Ravens tie it. Okay, we're going to go slower. Chicago has it to 3. And DR3 rushes in for a touchdown. They take the lead. All right, we're going to go a little bit slower. Big start to the drive. I want to see the Ravens win. I like the Cougars. I think they're a fun team, but they've already clinched. So it's not the end of the world if they lose. And Rashad Penny ties it. Andy Morrison. Ooh, penalty. They missed. Oh, wait, no, they made it. Okay. I thought they missed the extra point for a second. Whew, that was close. I thought they missed it. Oh, you have to change your name if you win. Yeah, I guess you guys have a reason to root for them. Ooh, the Ravens got to stop. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hopping in. I want to watch. So the Ravens have been at the 13. They have all 3 timeouts. Field goal wins the game. And that's not an ideal play. Morrison's numbers are about average. Hop in. I see Jackson and I had the same idea here, which is the correct idea. 3rd and 3, maybe the biggest play of the game. Ravens got to get it. Morrison under pressure, and he is sacked down at the 4. Cougars call time. Now they can get the ball with a shot to win the game. Your heart is pounding. If I was you, I'd be pretty nervous too. Block punt is possible, and it won't happen. And it's a deep kick. Why did the punt returner not choose to return it? They could have had really good field position. Because the punter was backed up in his own end zone. They could have started at like the 40. But now they're starting at the 23. That changes things quite a lot. Chicago still has time. They're starting with a run. Interesting. And Joe Mixon gets about 9. Are they going to go no huddle? They will. They probably should have used a timeout earlier. Who is that punt return? Yeah, that was... We'll check. That was a really bad play. The Cougars have ran 71 plays today. That's a lot. That's a lot. Romer incomplete. His numbers today are not very good. 50%, only 216 yards. No turnovers, but no passing touchdowns. I know he had the rushing touchdown earlier. Excuse me there. I just sneezed. Are they calling a timeout? No, there's 7 seconds left. What are they doing? DR3, short throw, incomplete. So they're going to have a Hail Mary here, and if not, we're going into overtime. Imagine if a Ravens season ends on a Hail Mary. That'd be a little bit sad. If this game ends in a tie, the Bengals clinch the AFC North, and the Ravens are out of the playoffs. So both teams need to win. And it is caught, but only at the 8. So the Hail Mary was nearly successful, but DR3's pass did not have enough distance on it. Who will start with the ball? I think overtime is 5.5 minutes. Tails never fails. Cougars chose tails. They won the toss. They will receive. So Chicago will start on offense, and they will get a first crack at it. I can't believe the Ravens season is coming down to overtime in Week 17. Did anybody see this coming? Because I didn't. And the Ravens, it's not like they clinch with a win. They still need a few things to happen. Although it's going to be easier to get one of the wild card spots in the AFC because there's less teams, but there's also less spots. In the NFC, there are 2 wild card spots up for grabs, whereas in the AFC, there's only 1. Chicago has it 5:26. I think the Ravens will have enough time if they get a stop. And that's only if. If Chicago scores a touchdown, game's over. They win the AFC North. And Chicago has won their division every year. Are they the only team who's done that? Maybe we've done that. Almost intercepted. But I think other than us and the Cougars, I don't think anybody's won their division every season. I know a few teams have won it a lot. Arizona's won it like 3 in a row. Carolina has a lot of division titles. The Caps have quite a few. Toronto's won 3 in a row. 3rd and 8. Another broken up pass, a 3-and-out for the Cougar offense. And now it's first one to score wins, and the Ravens have the football. I want to see the Ravens make the playoffs. I want to see them score here. I would rather the Cougars win the division over the Bengals, but again, the Cougars have already locked up a playoff spot. Bench Romer? No, Romer's been having a great season. And I don't even think... Who is their backup? I have no idea. Morrison breaks out of the sack. How did that work? That's my offensive rookie of the year right there. NFC North has been butt. It wasn't butt this year, but the past 2 years, yeah, it has been pretty butt. So that's not a great accomplishment for Toronto. Rashad Penny's had a nice game. 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been busy. Second and 8. Penny gets about 7. So now it's 3rd and 1. The Ravens are pretty close to field goal range. Who is their kicker? I have no idea who their kicker is. 3rd and 1. Morrison. Tough throw, and it is caught. A dot from Andy Morrison to bring the Ravens to the 36 in the hands of Scott. Scotty Lane. Well, let's hope Lane is good. They are nearing field goal range. It looks like the line to be at is around the 33. That's awfully close. So that tells me that Lane is not very good. But the Ravens have 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. They can get closer. They have time. And looks like they're trying to run the ball, which I think is smart. You're in field goal range. There's no need to try to get cute. Social distancing on that pass. Yeah, you're right. And now it is 3rd and 3. Penny lines out as a receiver. So they will throw it. Unless Andy Morrison does like a QB dive. He doesn't. Quick throw for McLaurin. They got it. The Ravens look like they're going to win this game. And they can just try to choose some clock. Cougars are so butt cheeks. Well, you better enjoy them in the playoffs because they're probably going to be the 6th seed. Andy Morrison, he will try to end it himself. Oh, it's a fumble! There is a flag. There is a flag. But why are they still running? That's going to be on Baltimore. They're going to decline that. So the Cougars get the ball. Why would they do that? All they had to do was kick the field goal and end the game. And now Baltimore is not going to make the playoffs. We're probably going to end in a tie. Oh my goodness. This game's going to end in a tie. So that means the Bengals are going to win the division, and the Ravens aren't going to make it. Both of these teams needed a win. Chicago's just trying to run the ball. They got the first down. Madden hates you. Clearly, that is a heartbreaking way to lose. There's only 37 seconds. They should probably move quickly if they want to win the division. Now down to 22 seconds. DR3 is sacked. This game's ending in a tie. That is unbelievable. That type of stuff would happen to you. Yeah, the Cougars are playing for the tie. And it's not like the Cougars are in a situation where they just... a win or a tie works. In order to win the division, they have to win the game. So, yeah, they're not going to get another playoffs. So this game will end in a tie. Quite the remarkable way to end the season here for both of these teams. So the Cougars finish 9-6-1. I think they'll be the 6th seed. And the Ravens' season ends in heartbreaking fashion. I've got to say, I didn't think the Ravens would still be alive in Week 17. You got to give them a lot of credit. But that certainly has to hurt. I'm not going to force win the Ravens, no. Although the Cougars would probably still be the 6th seed. I'm not going to do that, but the Cougars' seeding would be unchanged, most likely, if I were to do that. So pretty much the Cougars lost, essentially, because their seeding's no different. And obviously, if the Ravens lost, they don't have a shot at the playoffs anymore. Well, that's disappointing. I wanted to see the Ravens win. So nobody gets to change anybody's names. Yeah, you're right, because the Ravens didn't win, but they also didn't lose. That's right. Although it feels like the Ravens lost. Technically, according to your bet, they didn't, but a tie is the same thing as a loss here. The Ravens needed to win. Why are the Ravens celebrate? I don't know. I don't know. When is the last time we've had a tie? Not recently. I know we don't have one this year. All right, after that game, how many more do we have left? Probably like 3 or 4. Jags, Pats, Chargers, Diablos, Sentinels, Bucks, Eagles, Steelers, Snowhawks, Cardinals. We'll start with the Eagles and the Steelers. Eagles have to win to still have a shot to make it, and the Steelers, I think, are done. Devin Duvernay fractured his elbow. Look at the news thing. So the Colts are going to be without one of their receivers going into the playoffs. That's a pretty big deal. Wanted to make Booby's name Mobley related. Mobley is better than Jalen Green. Madden hates me. See you later, Boomy. Madden hates a very large majority of those. Not me, but pretty much everybody else. Another snow game. We've had like 3 this week. Can the Eagles keep their season alive? A team that nobody expected to do anything this year. And they've managed to stay competitive. They went on a little bit of a drought towards the end, and it might cost them if they lose this game to the Steelers. And even if they win, they're not going to clinch. They could get in with a win. Steelers currently on top. Eagles answer right back, though. Eagles with another touchdown. They're in the driver's seat. Steelers tie it. Okay, let's slow down. So the Eagles have it at the 12. So I think the Eagles are chewing clock at this point. Looks like they're in field goal range. Yeah, they're just chewing clock. 3rd and 4. They lose 3, and they'll probably kick the field goal here, and they do with 30 seconds. Steelers are out of timeouts, and they're not going to be able to get a playoff in time. So the Eagles stay alive. They finish the season 8-8. And the Nfc Wild Card race continues to get even more crowded. Austin Buckley finishes the year off strong. Kyler Murray was, John Favors had 31 carries. Why? That's a lot. Hunter Renfrow have a big game at the end of the year. Jacob Hollister was quite good. He said, bye, Loomy. Marlon Davidson with 1.5 sacks. He had a really good year. What is good, Eagles? Welcome to the stream, my guy. Ironic that the Eagles literally just won. All right, I think we'll do the Jags and Pats next. If the Jags lose, then the Colts win the division, and they get the #1 seed. Oh, no, Noob wants to see the Cardinals, and he's been asking for him. So we'll do that first, and then we'll do the Colts game. The Steamers are not eliminated. Let's take a look at the situation as of now with, like, 4 games left. So all the divisions are pretty much clinched. The AFC North is clinched by the Bengals. The South, we'll find out shortly. East is clinched by Buffalo. West, we'll find out. Winner of this game, probably. And then all the divisions in the NFC have been clinched. So for the NFC Wild Card, pretty much what's going to happen is the Bulldogs are probably going to get 5. And then there's a big race for 6 and 7 between the Steamers, Sentinels, Snowhawks, Bucks, Rams, Saints, Eagles, and Packers. 2 of those teams can get those spots. If the Snowhawks win, they'll get 1. If the Sentinels win, they'll get 1. And if one or both of these teams lose, then things are going to get really hectic. Oh, the Cardinals are home, so we'll use Arizona. The Cardinals have already clinched the 1 seed, so they don't really have anything to play for other than pride and Smirnov's stats in order to help him win MVP, I guess. If the Jags win, you believe they get... Well, we'll take a look at the tiebreaker if they win. If they lose, then there's no reason to. And then we'll also talk about the tiebreakers for the wild card spots, because the NFC, obviously, there's like 7 teams there. You want chaos? I want chaos, too. I want to see the Cardinals win, and then if the Sentinels are playing the Bucs, if the Bucs win, there's extra chaos, because they have 7 wins. So I want to see Arizona win, and I want to see Tampa Bay win. I kind of want to see the Sentinels in the playoffs, and I wouldn't mind seeing Portland, but I'd rather them get in with chaos than with a win. And the Cardinals are the best team in the league, so they should beat them. Ooh, Portland's off to a hot start. Arizona answers, currently 10-7. Cardinals with a touchdown. They take the lead. Portland does not get it. Cardinals are up. Snowhawks take the lead now. Cardinals back up. Well, let's slow it down now. Let's slow it down. Snowhawks have it from the 47 with 4 minutes to go. If Portland wins, they are in. It's that simple. If they lose... Oh, Miles Jack interception! Wow! That's big. That is really big. And the Cardinals can try to chew clock. They're throwing the ball, though. Okay. Portland is starting to call their timeouts. 3rd and 6. Why would they throw it? So the Cardinals get the field goal. They're up by 6. Touchdown and an extra point does take the lead. 3rd and 13. A sack for Von Miller. This is the ball game. 4th and 21. Incomplete. The Cardinals are going to win it. So Arizona finished this is the year of 12-4. The Cardinals officially get the best record in the OFL. No matter what happens in the other games, the Cardinals will sit atop the standings, and the NFC playoff race has gotten even crazier. Alexei Smirnov had a good game. I think he's probably going to win the MVP this year. He's getting my first place vote. I'm going to say it out loud right now. Alvin Kamara had a great end of the year. So the Cardinals are a 1 seed for the 2nd straight season? Were they the 1 seed the year before, too? They might have been. I know they were last year. I don't remember if they were the year before or not. I don't think they were, because the Hail Mary game was 2 years ago. That was in the divisional round in Toronto. So there's no way Arizona would have been the 1 seed. So I guess 2 years in a row. Patrick Machoke back at it again. Biggest play of the year, and you throw it away. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. And now it's more likely than not that Portland is going to miss. Unless they get lucky at the tiebreakers. All right, let's do Jacksonville and New England now. Then we have Orlando, Tampa Bay, which is, I think, the most important game in the NFC. And then Diablos and Chargers, by far the most important game in the AFC. Specifically with the Chargers. Our result doesn't really matter because we've already clinched. But for the Chargers, it's very important. If they win, they get a playoff spot. And if not, how many teams in the AFC have 8 wins, though? Hold on. Because the Ravens lost. The Dolphins lost. The Chiefs lost. You know, the Chargers might have already clinched because everybody else lost. I'm pretty sure the Chargers are probably in. That makes the Ravens' loss even sadder because let's say we end up beating the Chargers, then the Ravens would have a 1-2 shot to get in. And I guess every other 7-win team, but Baltimore is the most heartfelt story of the 7-win teams. Hey, Jags win, then they, win. New England does not have anything to play for. They don't have 7 wins. But Jacksonville, if they win, then the AFC North gets weird. If they lose, they will be the 5 seed, and they will play Buffalo. Jacksonville has won 9 in a row, but they're looking shaky today, currently down 14-0. Make it 21-0. Oh, now New England chooses to try. They're up, they're up 28-3. If New England blows this, I swear to God. Okay, there's one. Yeah, New England has this game in the bag. The Indianapolis Colts have clinched the #1 seed in the AFC. The Falcons fan was down 28-3. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. So the Jaguars' 9-game losing streak comes to an end. It will not take them out of the playoffs, but it will take them out of the division. How do you score? Oh, that's why he had 93 yards, because he got hurt. Cole McDonald came in and dominated. Maybe they should have been starting him over Kenneth Hawthorne all along. Joe Burrow was not great. His chances of MVP are in the toilet. He probably still have a shot to be in the top 5, but I don't think he's going to beat Smirnoff again this year. Nick Bosa had an interception. So the Colts and the Cardinals are officially the 2 #1 seeds. I think those 2 teams are the deserving ones, although they kind of ended the season on losing streaks. Well, they ended the season on win streaks, but they both look shaky towards the end. Kenneth Hall bust in the flesh. Okay, so we have 2 games left. I don't think... we might as well do the AFC game, because the Chargers are already in. Because everybody else lost, right? Here, let me see if I missed a game. Nope, it's just those 2. Okay. Let's check the standings. Did everybody who needed to win in the AFC lose? Yep. Yep. So the Chargers are in. Because the Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, who all could have had a shot at that wild card spot, lost or tied. But lost. Okay, I think the Chargers are home. So, but this game still does matter because the winner takes the division. I think. Who won the head-to-head games? Hold on. I don't want league, I want team. Diablos win. Okay. So if the Chargers win today, then we split. So the next tiebreaker would be division tiebreaker. So if the Chargers win today, win, loss, loss. So the Chargers go 4-2. Us, win, loss, loss. We lost to the Chiefs earlier. I missed that. And loss. So if the Chargers win today, they clinch the division. Because they would have the better divisional record. Oh, dear. Hold on. Who is home? We are home. Okay. I don't know why I went on the Chargers. So this game is still very important. Although the Chargers are no longer playing for a playoff spot since they've already clinched it, they are still playing for the division. Second year in a row, the Chargers get this. Oh, yeah, that happened last time. The Chargers made the playoffs because everybody else lost. That's right. So if the Chargers, if we win, we will get the 2 seed. The Chargers will get the 7 seed, and the 2 of us will play again in the wild card round. If the Chargers win, they get 3, and we would get 7. I would honestly rather play the Bengals than the Chargers, to be honest. Because if we lose today, the Chargers would get 3 and the Bengals would get 2. So, shoot, I would almost rather lose. But I'd also rather be a higher seed. So, no, I want to win. Quick start for the Diablos. We're up 7-0. Chargers with a field goal. Mexico City answers back. Does Russell Wilson still suck? It looks like the answer is yes. This game is a blowout. And it appears the AFC West will be staying below the border in Mexico City. The Diablos clinch the AFC West, clinch the 2 seed, and these 2 teams will meet up back in Mexico City. Wait, no. The Bengals could still get 2. Oh, because the Bengals are 10-6, and we're 10-6. I would way rather play the Chargers than the Cougars. Please be the 2 seed. Please. Please. Phil Chippendale was great. That's cool. Russell Wilson wasn't too bad. It's raining where you are. It looks like it's going to rain. The sky looks like grayish. So that means it's probably going to rain. Ooh, a good game for Dalvin. So we have one more game left. Probably the most important game of the week. If the Bucs win, then all hell will break loose in the NFC. Wow, 3 sacks for Bradley Chubb. If the Sentinels win, they clinch, and all hell will still kind of break loose in the NFC. So we're getting chaos regardless. But we could get extra chaos if Tampa Bay wins. I kind of want to see the Sentinels make it, but for the purpose of chaos, go Bucs. And if the Bucs make the playoffs, clearly they are a better team and watched, as shown by the playoffs last year. So if Tampa Bay ends up making it, do not count them out. They don't have McLaurin anymore, but I would not count them out. Okay, so let's look at the NFC standings real quick, just so we can make it all clear. So the top 5 teams are in. If Orlando wins, they get 6. I should probably do this by loss, yeah. If Orlando wins, they get 6. The Steamers, Snowhawks, Rams, Saints, Eagles, and Packers all have 8 wins, and the Bucs have 7. So if Tampa Bay wins, that'll mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Half of the conference will be fighting for 2 wild card spots if the Bucs win. If the Bucs lose, then 6 teams will be fighting for 1, because these 2 teams wouldn't be in it. So if Tampa Bay wins, these 2 teams are in the chaos. If Tampa Bay loses, these 2 teams are not in the chaos. So go Bucs. Final game of the regular season. Will we end off with a bang? Can the defending champs keep their season alive? Or will the Cinderella Sentinels make it? And if the Bucs lose, they will get last place in the division, something I called at the beginning of the year. So maybe I don't want the Bucs to win, because I kind of want to be right. I had that as a bold prediction, and that kind of panned out. Although the Bucs could still technically get last, because they would be tied with Orlando and New Orleans. Oh well, let's just sim. I want to be right, but I also want chaos, so I'd rather the Bucs win. They miss an extra point. It's 4. Oh, the Bucs score. They take the lead. Sentinels answer right back. A lot of points so far. Bucs with a touchdown. 24-22. No defense. Bucs with a score. Sentinels answer right back. Okay, we got to go slower. Ooh, Orlando is up by 9. The Sentinels are in control. Make it 10. Uh-oh, the Bucs are looking shaky. They march right down the field, and Kai Huntington gets the touchdown. So now they need a stop. I'm going to hop in. 39-36 with 3:44 to go. Start the Louis St. John chants in the chat. I think all of those 8-win teams in the NFC are probably rooting for Tampa Bay, because you have a better chance with 8 teams fighting for 2 spots than 6 teams fighting for 1 spot. But the Sentinels are in control. If they win, they are in, and they can knock off the champs. Big first down for DeAndre Swift. Why did I jump in these Orlando jerseys? Oh my word, they are awful. Note to self, if the Sentinels make the playoffs, do not wear their road jerseys. These are pitiful. When we pick for relocation teams next year, we are going to make sure that the road jerseys don't absolutely suck. Because just like Portland, these absolutely suck. Tampa's defense does look like Swiss cheese right now. This isn't the same defense we saw shut down the MVP in the OFL Bowl last year. Clearly, they've allowed 39 points to Tua, who might honestly be an MVP finalist. Tua's been really good. Leonard Fournette, there's Fatty with the first down, and the Sentinels are in control. We will still get chaos if Orlando wins. Keep that in mind. There'd be more chaos if the Bucs wins, but there'll still be some chaos if they don't. Tampa's defense does not care about our chaos at all. They just they want to go home. They want to book their flight to Cancun. They just want to get it done. They already got their ring. They don't really care about getting another one, clearly. Third and 7. Bucs are out of timeouts. This is the ball game. If Orlando gets it, game over. Tua, under pressure, breaks the sack, takes a shot for the end zone, and it is caught. No way. Dante Pettis just punched their ticket into the playoffs. Wow. Tua just broke that sack, heaved it up. I didn't know Tua could throw it that far, to be brutally honest. Although we want chaos, that's pretty cool too, I can't lie. And in a must-win game, the Sentinels scored 46. It's not like their defense is doing them any favors, but I think Tua is probably going to be a top 5 MVP finisher. His numbers are quietly good, and clearly, considering they have 46 points, he probably helped his case, I would think. Delete the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. Well, this means we are getting a new champion. That's cool. Or maybe it's not so simple. The Bucs are going to try to hold on, so they need to score, get an onside kick, and score again. So yeah, it is pretty unlikely. Because they don't have any timeouts, but their offense is moving quickly here, but they have to keep moving quick. They have to score, and they have to get that onside kick. And now Jordan Love is throwing passes up the middle. This is not why you won OFL Bowl MVP last year, Jordan. Let's go. Let's not throw 4-yard passes up the middle of the field to waste 12 seconds. Love breaks the sack, hit as he throws, incomplete. You know, if Tampa Bay had 2 guys in the backfield when Tua broke the sack, maybe it would still be a 3-point game right now. Just saying. 3rd and 6, under 30 seconds to go. He's not in. All right, this is it. Tampa Bay's season is on the line. Can the defending champs... Oh, they're kicking a field goal. Oh! Okay, I mean, that works. Field goal, onside kick, touchdown would tie it. So that's fine. I don't really have an issue with that call. So now their season is on the line here. And Orlando scoops it right up. The Sentinels are going to the playoffs. Tyrone Gordon recovers it. So Orlando is in, and the defending champs are done. And the regular season is now over. And now it's time to see who gets the final wild card in the NFC. I don't think we really have any other questions. I think the AFC seeding is pretty much set in stone. Indy gets 1. Bengals or Uz gets 2. Bengals or Uz gets 3. Bills 4. Jags 5. Cougars 6. And Chargers 7. That's like set in stone. 2 through 6 touchdowns. Oh my lord. Tua wants to win that MVP. Tua might have thrown like 40 touchdowns this year. Maybe it's not so easy for Smirnov. Tua had an awesome year. Yeah, he's definitely on the top 5. He's definitely going to be a top 5 MVP finalist. Tua Tagovailoa has put the Orlando Sentinels on the map as a team to watch out for going into the playoffs. I don't think Orlando's been in the playoffs yet. Until now. That's like the best single game performance all year, probably. I would think. Holy guacamole. Alright, so I guess it's sim time now, so let's look at the NFC first, just so we can understand the situation. The AFC is no longer exciting or relevant to us, so we're going to skip over. NFC, Cardinals will get 1. We'll sort by losses. Panthers 2, Caps 3, Toronto 4, London and Orlando will split for 5 and 6. So now the question is, who gets 7? These rankings don't mean anything because I think they were based on what they were last week. So Memphis, Portland, Rams, Saints, Eagles, and Packers all are 8 and 8. 6 teams competing for 1 spot. Of those 6 teams, I kind of did say after Green Bay won those 2 games, I want them to get in. So I'm kind of pulling for Green Bay here, but I really don't have a problem with any of those teams. I think they're all pretty fun in their own right. Let's save first before we sell. Here we go. Who's ready for chaos? Oh yeah, the All-Star Game's at 8. I forgot about that. Here we go. Please let us be the 2 seed. I don't want to play the Cougars. Please have us playing the Chargers. Please. Please. God damn it. So I guess the Bengals are the 2 seed and they'll play the Chargers and we play the Cougars. Alright, now it's time to see who is the 7th seed in the NFC. It is the Portland Snowhawks. Okay. So Patrick Mahomes is back. They will play Carolina. So we got Bills Chargers, Diablos Cougars, Jags Bills, Thunderbirds Bulldogs, Caps Sentinels, and Panthers Snowhawks. That's an interesting slate of games. So of those, how did the tiebreaker work? I'm not entirely sure, but I guess Portland got it. So the Sentinels are in, and that means the Steamers, Saints, Eagles, Packers, and Rams are all done. I wonder who would have had the tiebreaker between the Chargers and the Ravens. Because Baltimore could have absolutely made it. That's unfortunate. Players of the week, who is joining Tua? Dak Prescott, Brandon Brown, and Corey Littleton. Let's see who Madden has winning the awards. Let's take a look at the stats. And then that'll end the stream. But I will have the awards ballot up shortly after. That's not a surprise. Tua is the player of the year in the AFC. Defensive player of the year again goes to Devin. Andy Morrison, AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC goes to Reggie Reed with Ass Blaster in 2nd. Matt Ryan takes home best. Hopefully it's working. Is it still? Let me try something real quick. Are we still good? Is it still? Okay, we're good. But how did Alexander Madison win best running back?